Chandra Ambrosi started yoga with Swami Vishnu 1969. He lives down the street from the New York ranch. He was the chief builder for a lot of different projects that Swami Vishnu-devananda had. And he talks to the TTC August 2011. Hariom Tatsat.
And in 1987, I went with Swami Vishnu to Rishikesh, and we did a one-month tour of India. There was a busload of about 40-some people, and we had gone to Rishikesh at one point and went to the master's abode. That is the room where Shivananda used to spend his days along the river. And the periodical that Gopala was referring to, I think was Ambrosia. And so I was actually able to see the paper, the manuscript from the periodical on the master's bed. And it was very, very beautiful, having spent over 18 years before I finally got that kind of connection. Because originally I met Vishnu in 1969. And I remember Swami Vishnu when he was a young guy, very strong, where he could stand on his head on the edge of a plane, where he could direct a helicopter to bring a plane down right on a deck that was just being finished in the middle of the winter. It was very dynamic, very energetic. He would pass prana to you. We would travel from New York City after the hustle and bustle and the stress and the strain of everyday work and drive 7 hours, come here and be greeted by someone who said, "Oh wow, you're just in time for a class, Swami Vishnu's teaching." I would say, "Oh my God, I wanted to rest." But no, go on, take the class. Don't you know, we would take the class, and by the end of the class, we had so much energy. It was like we slept for 20 hours, we woke up, we were fresh. We were ready to meet the world. That's the kind of person, that's how dynamic he was. Of course, I knew him later on when we had to push him with a wheelchair, where we had to pick him up, where we had to ask somebody to interpret. I was able to experience that whole part of life, the youthful, the vigor, the energy, and the decline in physical. But Swamiji always had one thing, and that he always gave to people, and it was a dynamic faith. Swamiji always had a great faith in things. He would say, "You can do it, just do it." Now, he wasn't stupid. If somebody had a real objection that they would kindly voice to him in a nice way that was logical and made sense, he would then understand. He would get it. He would get your message. He didn't do stupid things. He did good things, but he would challenge. He would challenge you to come up and do the best and get something special that you didn't think was possible. Recently, actually about 3 weeks ago, I had the good fortune of partaking in early morning advanced pranayama with the advanced TTCs. So it was really good for me because it meant I'd wake up at 4:05 and take a shower, drive up to the yoga ranch, which is only 2 miles from my house, and do some good breathing. And it was so good, and it was so powerful. I felt really good. Of course, I had to ask a question at the end of the course, and that so many people ask, "This is so good. Why can't I continue to do this? Why can I? At least I want to learn some of this stuff so I don't forget it, because it's a little complicated. And it's so good." Well, the attending Swami Swarupa did a long discourse about why we shouldn't, why it's important to do some things under the protection or the auspicious of guidance and in the right place. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but the thing that I did want to talk about is that early on, we were taught that when you feel that you have your master or your teacher, not to stray, to go here, to go there, to learn this, to learn that. It was okay at the beginning to to focus in on what your heritage is, on what you've been taught. It's okay to read about the other religions. It's okay to understand where they're coming from. But what I found is that I listened to those teachings, but listen to that, to the idea that you don't want to go too many places and dig too many wells because you're never going to strike water. You have to, when you feel in your heart, you know where you belong. You know who your teacher is. You don't have to go and look 100 different places. Well, as the years gone by, and it's around 40, then you begin to see that the message over and over and over again that SYVC gave comes through different people in different ways, but it's the same message. That is the unity. That is the spirit. You know when you've got something, it's a jewel, treasure.
Thank you very much.